It has been all over social media for days, a major law enforcement operation in Jasper County involving ICE. Tonight we are digging deeper into what really happened and what didn't. WSAV's Andrew Davis speaks one-on-one with the sheriff.
I can safely say probably the largest operation that ever has happened in Jasper County.
Sheriff Chris Malfris is talking about the Saturday morning bust in Jasper County. His deputies, along with Ridgeland Police and ICE, all combined to make dozens of arrests, an operation to end what he calls a criminal enterprise.
What happened Saturday was a targeted operation based off a cockfighting ring and then everything that is developed inside that investigation.
A cockfighting ring behind fenced-in areas in several spots, including off Tammy Drive. Malfris says when officers arrived, people scattered, running and driving away to try to escape.
It was just mass chaos around here Saturday, but we knew it was going to be that way, and that's why we came prepared with the amount of officers that we had.
The sheriff can't offer numbers of detentions or even many details about what they discovered, just that this was a year-long investigation spurred on by alert citizens that helped take criminals off the streets.
When we're attacking something that may not seem as harsh as maybe drug trafficking or anything like that, but it's all coincide together, it works together. The guns and drugs and the cockfighting and all of it.
One of the videos making the rounds came from outside La Poblanita in Ridgeland. Malfris says that business was not a target, but one of the suspects actually ran inside and others barricaded themselves in there as well. That's why the deputies took action. He credits the feds for being a key part of this investigation, but Malfris wants to make sure this was about criminals, not deportations.
It doesn't matter to me the color, the gender, the race, the nationality. If you break the law in Jasper County, we're going to deal with it. So this has nothing to do with the fact that they're Hispanic or they're from another country. It has to do with the fact that they're breaking law inside our county, and we're not going to stand for that.
Andrew Davis, WSAV News 3 on your side.
The sheriff says hundreds of animals were also seized during the operation, along with a variety of weapons and other evidence. He says the investigation reaches beyond Jasper County, and he expects more details from federal authorities to be released in the coming days. New details tonight out of Washington after alarm and confusion over a possible Immigration and Customs Enforcement presence at Marine Corps Air Recruit Depot Paris Island graduation. Officials now say ICE will not be involved. The confusion started after a post on the base's website that said ICE agents would be checking IDs of anyone trying to attend ceremonies, and those without proper documents might be questioned. That message has now been changed to only say that federal officials will be present and there would be extra security, nothing about checking immigration status. We also spoke to ICE officials who tell us their agency will not be there in any capacity. It's unclear whether there was a mistake or something has changed. Continuing coverage now, the Fort Stewart soldier accused of shooting 5 fellow soldiers on post last year was in court today, changing his plea to guilty. WSAV's Evan Smoke was inside the courtroom for us today. He joins us now live with what a judge decided.
Death by cop. That's what Sergeant Cornelius Radford said was his ultimate goal during the August 2025 shooting at Fort Stewart, or at least that's what he testified in court today. In a Fort Stewart courtroom, Radford pled guilty to 6 charges. He detailed the events of August 6th, describing how an argument with his partner led him to his unit's workplace on the base. Radford fired multiple rounds, hitting 2 soldiers in the chest, another in the stomach, and he claims one of the shots was intended for another soldier, but that soldier dodged it. He said he then fired blindly into a nearby room, injuring a woman in the arm and side before fleeing down the hall and shooting a man in the face when he opened the door. The gunfire came to an end when other soldiers subdued Radford and disarmed him. Now, the judge did accept the guilty plea on these 6 offenses, but will delay sentencing until June, when all charges, including charges Radford has pled not guilty to, such as premeditated murder, can be addressed. Live from Fort Stewart, Evan Smoke, WSAV News 3, on your side.
Evan, thank you. We are learning more about a deadly stabbing in Effingham County. Authorities have officially identified the suspect and the victim. The victim is 28-year-old Chapin McCree, and the suspect is 48-year-old James Barla. It happened on March 18th in the 4400 block of Blue Jay Road, where officials say the 2 men got into a fight that left both with stab wounds. McCree later died at the hospital. Barla is now facing several charges, including felony and malice murder and aggravated assault. New at 6, the Hampton County Sheriff's Office is investigating a shooting incident in the town of Barnville. Deputies say they responded to Palm Street about someone firing a gun in that area. When deputies got there, they saw the suspect actively shooting and arresting him. and arrested him rather. The name of the suspect has not yet been released and will be shared once charges are filed. A former teacher at a Lowcountry elementary school is speaking out, alleging that she witnessed abuse inside a classroom. She says a student was hit and dragged and claims her reports were not taken seriously. WSAV's Isley Herschel joining us now with these details.
That's right, Ben. Taylor Hobbs says she decided to come forward after a separate incident at her former school, Varnville Elementary. Recently made headlines. A 6-year-old found walking alone near a highway after being left behind on a field trip. She says that moment pushed her to share what she says she witnessed months earlier. Hobbs says during the fall semester, she saw another special education teacher hit a student with an outlet cover, leaving the child bleeding. She also claims the same teacher dragged a student in a walker across the floor. Hobbs says she reported both incidents, but claims the school responded with staff meetings instead of discipline. She says the teacher is still in that classroom and that she ultimately left her job because of what she saw.
Couldn't take it anymore. They have a hard enough time, being different in a world that's not always accepting to kiddos being different. So just hopefully, we can just go forward.
We reached out to the Hampton County School District, and officials say they take these allegations seriously but could not comment any further. You can read their full statement on WSAV.com. Isley Herschel, WSAV News 3, on your side.
Isley, thank you. Firefighters in Bryan County are crediting a fast response for keeping a house fire from turning into devastation. Richmond Hill Fire and Bryan County Fire crews dispatched just after 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon to a 2-story home after reports of heavy fire and smoke. Officials say crews had water on the fire within 4 minutes of being dispatched, and no injuries were reported there. A follow-up now. Mayor Van Johnson is responding tonight to ongoing questions about the future of Savannah's Yamacraw Village neighborhood, emphasizing the city's commitment to residents and the historic community. Yamacraw Village turns 88 years old this year, and experts say it has long exceeded its lifespan. Out of 315 public housing units, more than 200 remain boarded up, leaving only about 90 families in those deteriorating conditions. Today, Mayor Johnson confirmed that families will be relocated to stable housing with the opportunity to return once redevelopment is complete.
So our commitment is, and our commitment remains, that the individuals who are there now will be relocated to quality, stable housing. They will have the opportunity to have first dibs to come back should they want the opportunity to do so. And if they qualify to come back.
Mayor Johnson emphasized that the community will remain deeply affordable and that historic elements, including First Bryan Baptist Church, will be preserved. There are new developments tonight in the sentencing of a Savannah man convicted in a deadly bar assault. It's now on hold as new legal questions surrounding the jury are brought before the court. So WSAV's Jillian Coles joins us now with what is causing the delay in the sentencing.
Ben, Charles Teeple was expected to be sentenced March 13th, but that date has been pushed back because his attorneys raised what they call limited post-trial matter. On March 25th, Charles Teeple's attorneys requested a conflict in court hearing. State prosecutors then filed a motion asking a judge to release juror names and information under seal. The request references 2 affidavits believed to be from jurors included in the defense's filing. On March 30th, Judge Colbert approved that request, setting the stage for a future hearing. This comes months after a week-long hearing where attorneys debated whether Teeple's punch caused the victim's death.
The weapon is how you use it, and hands absolutely can be a deadly weapon depending on how you use them.
They used the word sucker punch 4 times, and I'll agree, it was a sucker punch. You cold-clocked it. That's not good. But it also doesn't have anything to do with the crimes that are alleged.
I spoke with Teeple's attorney, and they said with the upcoming trial, they refused to give any comment. Teeple's next appearance in court is set for April 7th. Stick with News 3 for the latest details. Jillian Coles, WSAV News 3, on your side.